Well, here we go again. I don't really know where to start. Good old Dismal Minus. Good old Dismal Minus. Yeah, it's going downhill. Going downhill fast. Let's talk about it. Hola. So, third episode. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, what are we gonna do with She-Hulk? I don't know where to start. She breaks the fourth wall well. She's a good actress. Let's start off with some positives. The the, the hashtag with the news reports, hashtag big green woman for these little mock news reports. It's the Blonsky. There's a Blonsky kind of exchange again, which was good. So there's plenty. Well, I say plenty, but you just can't ignore the fact it's so badly written. It is. It's so badly written. I wondered whether or not it was what I can compare it to. What am I struggling with? I don't know what. And I don't know why I had a little apostrophe moment, and I turned the little light bulb off. Do you remember a little film called Liar Liar? A comedy, an absurd comedy with one conceit, that a little boy had blown out some birthday cake candles, wishing that his dad couldn't lie for one day. One stupid, silly conceit with a comedian. He was at the top of his game at the time, but nevertheless, and I know I'm comparing film with TV. I normally try and find fairer comparisons, but bear with me, because that was a courtroom drama comedy, dramcam, whatever you want to call them, comedy rama. I don't know what you call them, and that's how they set their stall out with She-Hulk. They said, yeah, attorney at law. It's in the title. It says it on the tin. The courtroom stuff. So they finally get to it with one really random court case with her ex business partner or colleague, with her ex-colleague from the old firm. That Dennis guy has turned up at the firm she's working at and claims to not know, even though surely by now the whole world knows that She-Hulk's working for this firm in the superhero department. I don't know. But this Dennis bloke turns up. He's the knobhead from episodes 1 and 2. He's one of the male idiots that she used to work with. He turns up because he's quite funny in and of himself. He's dated a shapeshifter and she's trying to rip him off. Right, okay. So that's idiot number one. But it's such a random waste of time. This case. But the main case is defending Blonsky, or trying to get Blonsky parole. Right, okay. And we get introduced to his 7 friends there behind the glass window, etc. These 6 or 7 women, whatever they were, whatever he calls them, and he's going for parole. And just these 2 cases and just a bit of dialogue. I'm not expecting cutting edge. I'm not expecting Suits or cutting edge legal drama, written by Aaron Sorkin. I'm not expecting that, but surely it's got to be a little bit relevant in the real world. Otherwise, everything falls apart. If everything's stupid, nothing works. That's why classic comedy duos have a straight man. You need someone or something being played straight for it to work. When everything is stupid and pathetic, which it is now in this programme, nothing works. And it's such a shame, because underneath the bad writing and the shocking CGI, you can see that in talented creators' hands, they could have taken John Byrne's comic, which is, all the elements are there, they could have lifted it. And, Dismal Minus are a company that was made to do this. But something else that is missing from this shit is to do a good parody, you have got to love what you're doing a parody of, or if not love it, if not revere it, the genre or the concept that you're parodying, you've at least got to do some research. Otherwise, all you're doing is writing lame jokes that fall flat. The jokes in that are falling so flat. Old Holloway, that I was quite looking forward to seeing more of, even he is getting it's just all crap. It's meaningless, pointless, leading to nowhere. Idiocy that isn't even funny, because there's no straight. If you played the legal straight, it's got to be. You can't make legal stuff understandable for 6-year-olds, which is what they've so tried to do here. Everything's pathetic, but you can see all that John Byrne stuff. But getting back to the parody side of it, look what Seth MacFarlane did with Star Wars. That man obviously loved, and everyone else involved, but it had to come from the top down. You know, there was obviously technical bits that probably some people working on it never saw Star Wars, but that didn't matter because they weren't at that level. But from Seth MacFarlane down, you know that man. Parodying Star Wars, you could tell. The guy that does the pitch meetings on YouTube, sensational. But you can tell that he hasn't just watched the film. His best ones are the ones you know, because you know they're the ones he loves. You know he loves this genre stuff, because he doesn't do every film. He does the genre stuff. And I know obviously everyone's got to monetize it, etc., etc. But what I'm getting at, Naked Gun. If you liked the detective, the movie detective genre, or the film noir genre, those films just resonate, and they still resonate now. But they come from, I would say, certainly a bit of knowledge for the genre of what you're doing, and it comes from love. This shit that Dismal Minus are doing, and it isn't just because it's all women, which they set their stall out, didn't they? That anyone who doesn't like this is a misogynist, and you know, this is exactly what we expected. No, you're shit. Whether it's male or female, I don't care who was involved at the writing level, creative level, directing it. It's shit. It's poor. Very, very poor. Lowest common denominator content manufacture. That's all this show has turned into. And I don't know how many of you watching this now have watched my episode 1 and 2 kind of review. I call them reviews, but I don't go through them bit by bit. And this is turning into a bit of rant now, because the more I'm going off piece with me little notes I've made underneath my camera, because the more you talk about things that are decent, like Liar Liar, a decent film, an hour and a half's entertainment. Hour and a half's entertainment's probably going to be longer in one film that this 6 or 8, I don't know how many episodes going to be in this tosh, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be an hour and a half, is it? Because we're getting between 18 and 21 minutes, are we? 22 minutes a week? I don't know, including a good old recap, which is so funny, isn't it? So funny doing it. You know, if you missed last week's episode. Oh, oh, who knew Wong was a comedian? I didn't know that. Wong's in it. Spoiler alert. Wong's in it, cameo. But the best cameo of all, Megan Thee Stallion. And I thought, because I'm a geeky old hog, I thought, because this character, I was watching it thinking, and she only appears at the end, I was thinking that is every stereotypical female rapper of colour stereotype thrown all into one. That is such a mashup of everything you imagine a stereotype to be, whether it's long nails and, I mean, in a way, I thought, wow, she could have made a bit of Titania. I mean, she's properly over the top. And I thought, oh, but she's real. So forgive me for being an old hog, but she's real. But I'm going to calm down. Just getting back to the passion of it all. And where I think this has gone wrong is it's made by a bunch of women that they just want to take the piss out of men and the superhero genre. Now that's fine because John Byrne took the piss in the comic that I keep banging on about. He was blatantly taking a piss out of fanboys who, you know, would covet their X-Men comic and who would nitpick that a new writer might come along in their favourite comic and miss some of the canon or the lore. And and I'm one of them. I'm a geekyOlhog. But when that little breath of fresh air come along, everything else was carrying on as it was. But John Byrne come along, but he was a fanboy poking fun at himself. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you can't laugh at anything. Now, and I know and I'm not going to go there because that goes up into a whole other different societal kind of conversation about where things are going at the moment and cancel culture and cultural wars and all the rest of it. And I am not going there. Not yet. I'm preparing myself to do it, but not yet. Let's stay with this shit. Now, if with an all-woman creative production team, you know, this just would have been a perfect opportunity to mock the culture. And like I say, Dismal was set up for this because they've been mocking it unintentionally. But now's the time where all the fanboys, if they was mocking us, they was actually mocking us, and they are, but they're kind of not. They're just they're insulting. They're insulting because this group of women have got together, and all they've done is get around the table and say, what can we do to take the piss out of them? These man babies. That's all it is. That cynicism is coming through now, is seeping through. And it shouldn't, and it's wrong, and it's bad storytelling, it's crap. On any measurable level, it is crap. And they've dropped the ball, missed an open goal, whatever cliche you want to put to it. And I think it's just they're just showing their ignorance for the genre, and they are showing their creative ineptitude with this. Because if they'd looked at the source material and had some creative talent, and that this would have been so much fun. And it is fun. She's a good actress, old Tatiana, and her fourth wall stuff I'm enjoying. I am enjoying it. You can see that she's a good actress there, and she's enjoying herself and leaning into the shot and then leaning back out again. And you could see that Tim Roth, like I said last week, he's hamming it up just enough, and he's enjoying himself. You can all see they've got a little twinkle in their eye. But everything else is so meaningless and pointless and crap. There's no heart to it. Liar, there was a heart to it. And you know at the beginning of the film that during the setup, you want him to get back with his wife and his son. You want it. And the new kid on the block, the new man with his ex-wife, he's not a bad bloke, but you're still rooting for this arsehole. He's an arsehole. Jim Carrey's character in it is an arsehole. That's why I'm comparing it, because it's all there for this shit to have done that. Just take the template from that if you want. Courtroom drama, funny, massive hit, lots of money. I don't know anyone who doesn't like that film. It might look a little bit old-fashioned in some people's eyes now, maybe. In a modern audience's, I don't know. I think it stands up really well. The last and final thing in this rant. The fucking CGI. Oh my God, if you're gonna have the one big conceit of it all, like I said about the conceit of blowing the candles out with Liar Liar, and the superhero genre, you need the one big, you know, you're either going to believe a man can fly, or you can believe a billionaire orphan is going to be mystically enhanced by a bat flying through his library window. You know what I'm getting at. You've got to buy into. Normally, it's buying into one essential thing. I mean, we've all got to step back and suspend our belief. And the one conceit in this is that, you know, she's a female Hulk. I think we can get over that. Well, I know we can, because we got over it very, very well with the male version and all the other superheroes in phases 1 to whatever they're on. So, why has no one realised that the CGI needs to be on point for that. Why is it that is so bad? Those scenes with her walking around the office in this episode are so bad. It reminded me of those 16-bit, like those 16-bit computer games where someone's walking over there and then they're walking over there and the faces don't move. And it's shocking. It's shocking. I mean, it's like it was made decades. I mean, I can't think of such of anything so shockingly. Is it the suit? Should they have just the design team around that? If they want us to buy into, and I keep using the word conceit, and it's just the way I describe it. If they expect us to buy into that one conceit, and which will enhance the comedy of it all, the absurdity, we need it. And surely to God, someone somewhere must have thought that we need to get that on point. We need to make that sharp. Otherwise, if she's going to have a lot of screen time, She-Hulk, we're just going to be looking at, we might as well be watching SpongeBob SquarePants. It's ridiculous. And it's ridiculous, and I'm angry because even the chemistry between her and her colleague at work, I forget her name now, and the new guy, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a little bit of love interest there, which would be nice. He's a decent actor as well. Come on, let's bring it back, Hog. Hog's going to try and get it, spin it all put back positive. Let's think of all the... Like I say, you can see it all there. There's a scene in the in the bar, and I'm thinking, is there a little bit of something here between these three? Is it going to be a bit more than colleagues? Maybe, which would just be interesting. It would give the programme a little bit more heart. But oh my God, it would involve a man in the story, and maybe he'd have to be not an idiot. He would have to be have a modicum of intelligence, not be a fucking imbecile. So that's out the fucking window. Even the chemistry between old She-Hulk and a colleague at work, that could be nice. But that's not being given enough. 20 minutes. 20 minutes a week. I mean, it's pathetic, really. So we got 3 episodes, 20 minutes a week. That's just barely over one standard episode of telly back in the day. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know whether to sum up or not. There is no... You can clearly tell there is no creative passion on any level to make anything other than some kind of silly modern feminist myth and take the piss out of the boys, and it's badly done. And by the way, before it all kicks off like it is on Twatbook and InstaWorld, boys against girls saying, "Oh, you're only calling it shit because it's women and we're doing so much better than you." A bit like what they're claiming the character's doing. But I'm not buying into that. I'm just saying it's clearly crap and badly written. I don't care whether you're male, female, them, the space lizard or whatever you are. Sorry, space lizard, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have involved your species in this. So I'm going to retract that comment. But you know what I mean, darling, don't you? You know what I mean. If I've lost my track now because I've unintentionally insulted an entire alien race. It doesn't matter what you are. If you've written it shit, there's been plenty of films I've not liked and men have written them and directed them. But you don't get the bloke going, "Oh, it's just because I'm a bloke," is it? If women don't like it, you don't get a bloke turning around and going, "Oh yeah, it's because you're a woman, isn't it?" Put your hand up if you're a bloke and you enjoyed Bridesmaid. Back in, a few years ago. Listen, it was a decent film. All right, the director was a man. Other than that, written, acted, it was all women. It was a well-written, well-acted, funny film. It was a comedy. I thought this was supposed to be a comedy. It's as flat as a witch's tit. Gonna end it there. I will see you next week. Roll on, Daredevil. Roll on, Daredevil. Look, I'm ready. He's an icon of mine, so get ready for that one. Oh, adios.